This episode is brought to you by CarterComics.com. It's your one-stop shop for all your comic needs, whether it be graded or raw. Carter Comics has got it all. All you gotta do is go to CarterComics.com, fill your card up with all their amazing comics. Use the discount code FREAKNET, FREAKNET. Save you 10% at checkout. Not only on their website, but also at their eBay account. And the link to eBay can be found on their homepage at CarterComics.com. Again, CarterComics.com is your one-stop shop for all comic needs. What's up, everybody? I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And welcome back to another episode of This Freakin' Show. It is the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. And if you're going to hear some like rumblings in the background, it's because it's storming.
You got a storm too?
Yeah, who would have thought that rain would find its way to Illinois finally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have been in a drought.
Oh, grass is, people are like, grass is always green on the other side. No, not over here. It's all brown. Everything's brown.
Yep.
It's horrifying, but definitely long overdue, and windows right here. So if you hear some crackling and stuff like that, it's because of that. It's not in the pug. It's always this crooked. There we go. Because I am a mess. Joe, how are you doing? How was your 4th of July weekend?
I am fantastic. My 4th of July weekend was uneventful. How was yours?
Same. I didn't really do anything.
Nice.
I was invited over to Mom and Carl's and stuff. For the whole weekend, cook out, swim, hang out on the deck and everything. And full transparency and honesty, I just permitted myself. It was a goofy thing, and it was a stupid thing. I mean, it's like I know my family ain't gonna judge me, but it's a self-esteem thing about going into a pool and stuff like that. So, which is stupid because I would have loved to have gotten the exercise of actually swimming. The weather was beautiful for it. Maybe get some color and tan up a little bit.
You
Enjoy some
are
good barbecue.
like ghostly pale right now with the ring light there.
It's got to be. I mean, listen to me. Is that better? Is that better?
Yeah, much better actually.
Yeah, maybe if I go like that, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I really don't. It's been a chaotic 2 weeks as far as work has gone, and I definitely like over the weekend needed like that downtime to like kind of like reset myself. But um, whenever somebody goes on vacation, like one of my coworkers are, their work becomes our work, and it's just a lot to put on people. I mean, that's one of the reasons we're recording a day late is because it's just Monday, Tuesday, we're just a housecape, and it rolled into Wednesday, and I got home and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna lay down for a little before we record. And as soon as I lay down, I was like, I don't want to move because I know if I move, I'm not gonna find this moment again.
Yep, heard
And
that.
but um busyness is good though. I mean, it just shows that the big company's making money, and so like, I can't complain too much about it, but at the same time, it's just like it just there's need to be a breathing period. Like I just need a moment, like just go, So it ain't gonna be next week because our coworker's on vacation. But it shouldn't be as bad. It's just obviously holiday weekends, people want stuff. We just kind of regained some work, and it's just a heavy workload, and obviously, we need a little bit more manpower, but we'll get through it. But I definitely I definitely went against my I don't know if it's considered New Year's resolution or just a commitment to myself to be better and getting out of the house and doing more by turning down the invitation to go hang out with not only my mom and stepdad, but my sister, her kids, and all that stuff. So I'll find a way to make it up. I gotta mentally get out of my own head and just be better about it. And
Yeah.
yeah, so, but, uh, no interest in, going out. I mean, don't they usually do fireworks like off the lake or something?
So I should have gone. I should have done it. Um Maddie was out of town because she had cousins in from the East Coast visiting in Elkhart. And
Okay,
so she left early Friday morning to go out there
gotcha.
and didn't come back until like pretty late in the afternoon on Saturday. And so that's what I should have done. We always participate in the neighborhood parade.
Mhm.
Um, and that my church is in because as one of the two pastors in the neighborhood, I I get the opportunity to say something. So I said something and it was good. And then because Maddie was out of town, I volunteered at the neighborhood has a picnic after the parade.
Yeah,
And so I went and I helped out and basically ran the obstacle course for the kids for an hour and then helped clean up.
that's pretty
So it was
cool.
good. Yeah. Finally joined the community association. It's only been 6 years.
So there's two churches
Trying to
over
talk
by
with my
you,
mouth
right?
full of water. But yeah, and then I came home and was like, I should go somewhere, do something, find some fireworks, go swim in the pool for a little while at
Yeah.
dad's. Um, but I sat in my chair and I went, Spaceballs is there on HBO, huh? So I watched Spaceballs for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's, I think, like, because I mean, obviously, there's any logical excuse not to do something, and it gotta be justified in some way. It's like the travel home's gonna be hell,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. For me, honestly, I had no excuse. Like, there's not gonna be any traffic between my house and their house. There may be a train, but I mean, that's what happens when you live on the other side of the same exact town. Yeah, it was just one of those things where like I was kind of like excited to go over to mom's, and then like the moment I heard it's like, oh, well, she's gonna have some of her friends over, and it's just like I started making up the excuses. It's like, well, there's gonna be smoking. I don't really smoke. There's gonna be drinking. I don't really drink that much, and it's like I know there's gonna be food, but I'm trying to watch what I'm eating, and it's like the chairs that they got, like I don't really fit in them comfortably because obviously I'm a big guy, and they live this stool, like these high chair kind of lives and stuff, and I get it, but it's just like, I was like, maybe I could get into the pool, but am I gonna be able to get out? It's just always these random, like, it's like, well, just safer than sorry, like
Bird.
why leave the house? I got everything I need here. I got a
Yeah.
computer and games and TV and a bed and
Right. For me, I didn't get back to home until like it was probably 3 o'clock, maybe 3:30.
yeah,
And so an hour down to Peatone, it's 4:30.
yeah.
I'm there for 2 hours, it's 6:30. Then I gotta drive back an hour to give my diabetic cat his insulin and his dinner.
Mhm.
Is is 2 hours better than 0 hours? Yes.
Mhm.
Is 2 hours worth 2 hours in the car?
No. Two
I'm not.
hours is 2 hours from here to your house is kind of generous, though, especially on a holiday week, a
Well, that's what I'm
holiday.
saying. An hour down would have been an hour down. It probably wouldn't have been an hour back. You're
No,
right.
an hour down, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're talking about like what driving back into the city, in the evening. It's like when, especially like like the work we were doing was out in Indiana, and our office is in Plainfield, and like we're trying to coordinate times. On okay, so if he samples at this time, he leaves at this time, he's got to get to the lab at this time, blah blah. And I got a ton of them like you got to factor in holiday time because he's gonna be on the highways. I mean, you're talking like he's gonna be leaving Indiana to go back to Illinois around 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone, um, everyone over in Indiana where they got legal fireworks, most of them are from Illinois and they're gonna want to come back. So it's yeah, it's wild. Like as I said, I mean, when you say an hour, it's like, yeah, maybe, but I would probably say more like yeah, maybe hour 15, hour 20 and stuff
Oh,
like that. But,
easily.
but honestly, at that point, you just kind of just like, yeah, you might as well
Right.
just stay,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Well, and then it's like, and then now my cat who's diabetic misses his dinner and his insulin,
Right, and there you go. Yeah.
and that, how's that going to fuck him up? And is
Mhm.
that worth it? And
Yeah, and you're not quite to the point yet where you're capable of training your cat to, give him his own insulin. So
yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't have thumbs. He's not one of those
he's not,
hemipack
yeah.
cats.
Now, they should how do they not have insulin pumps for animals? Is it because like they like maybe like knock them
That's a
off or
great
something?
question. I have no idea.
Like
That's a
what
good
if
question.
like what if they had like a tiny one that would like if they put on the collar or something,
Right? That'd
It's
be
like
brilliant.
right? They just
Absolutely. Ooh.
like do they move around? I mean, obviously I don't know how the ones work. I know it goes into the hip of like a human, but it's like I mean
Mhm.
like do animals like like rub themselves on the ground too much where it could like mess them up? Like it's like I don't know. Like that's like, how they had not come up with something like that yet is
Okay.
beyond me. Um,
While traditional insulin pumps haven't been widely adopted for cats, research is exploring the potential of implantable, wirelessly controlled pumps for managing feline diabetes.
also be inside them.
Yeah,
I mean, that
that'd
that'd
be
be a lot safer. They won't be scratching at it and pawing at it, rubbing it on it. Yeah, I mean,
right.
that'd be a lot safer. So there we go. You're
Hmm.
welcome, world. Um,
Cool. But
yep.
yeah, and then Saturday, I was thinking about getting up and going and doing something, and then I think it was like, well, there's no reason not to sleep in because I never get to
Yeah.
sleep in, and then which of course sleeping in just means like sleeping until it's time to get up with the cats, but
Mm.
and then I don't remember what I did. I think I just played video games all day.
Yeah, I was kind of excited because I was excited for Sunday because I was gonna go grab breakfast with a friend and we've been playing it for about a year. I ended up having to cancel just because even though I was around home all day, relaxing for the most part, the stuff that I was dealing with work because I was dispatching that week, um, again like with when somebody goes on vacation and they start the vacation Thursday, the day before the holiday, and they're off this whole week and stuff, the stuff over the weekend again becomes the responsibility of everyone else. So while Carl was sending out the reports to the customer and stuff like that and everything, I had to deal with phone calls from inspectors and dispatchers and the lab wanted to try to get like daily updates on stuff and everything. And so I ended up like realizing like so from Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. So from Thursday night into Sunday morning, I was supposed to meet somebody for breakfast at like 10 a.m. down in Bourbonnais, and I had to cancel because I sat there like when I woke up in the morning, I was beat tired, I had a bad headache, and I realized like I may have slept a total of like 12 hours through that time because the idea of like we need to make sure that we're doing the best we can for this customer and nothing could go like nothing could happen without fail and stuff. And Thursday night I tried to go to bed reasonable hours and stuff like that, and I just could not fall asleep.
Mm,
And to me, it was almost a blessing, a God's will moment because as I was laying there, like, come on, go to bed, come on, go to sleep. I'm just trying to roll over. Like, I don't have my phone on me. Curtains are closed. It's pitch black in the house. The air, in my bedroom, the fan's on, the air conditioning on. It's cool in the bedroom. I'm
mhm,
under a blanket. Like, I am comfortable. I should be dozing off at this very moment. For some reason, something is stopping me from
mhm,
falling asleep, and I'm laying in bed for hours. And I'm just saying, like, Jesus, okay, so it's like 1:10, 1:15. I was like, well, I can't sleep. Let me go check my emails, look at some stuff, make sure I get, I see what's going on, whatever, maybe, I know there's a guy who I talked earlier that evening saying, hey, listen, we just gotta make sure we're here at this time and doing this because we got a tank sample we gotta pull and all this stuff, blah, blah, be there at 2:30. Like, okay, yeah, no problem, blah, blah. So I'm looking at my emails and stuff, and I'm looking again, it's like 1:10, 1:15, and I don't see an email that this guy's on his way to his job. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's kind of weird because, usually you're supposed to say en route to job. And he's probably about an
mhm,
hour, 5 minutes away. And he has to be there at 2:30. And I'm like, okay, well, let me pull up the GPS system because all our trucks have trackers on them. And I pull it up, and he's in the truck that the tracker has like an error issue on it. So once in a while, it'll just say it's not active. And I look at it and it's parked at his house. And I'm saying, okay, well, that's also kind of weird. Like, well, if the error message is it's gonna error out the last known location, so he could be on the road. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll look maybe 125. I'll give him a call. 125 comes around, I'll shoot him a call. Like, yeah, I just say, hey man, I just want to make sure you're on your way, everything's good and everything. So he has his phone, like, hey Travis. I'm like, hey, what's up, Roddy? It's his name's Rodriguez, and I'm like, hey, what's up, Roddy? Just making sure you're all good on your way to terminal to get the job done and everything. He's like, oh no, man, I haven't heard from Nick yet about going. And I was like, what are you talking about, man? I texted you earlier about it. You said you understood. He's like, you did? I'm like, yeah, remember I said, hey, we had this terminal at 2:30 a.m. We gotta do this, ask for this, here's the job number, here's this. And he's like, oh, I mean, I saw the instructions, but I didn't see anything about time. I'm like, Roddy, you gotta be there in about an hour, man. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll be on my way. I'll be on my way, blah, blah. And luckily he got there at 2:20. But I'll tell you right now, the moment his email came through showing that he arrived at that terminal, I crashed out in my bed so hard.
Nice.
It was the moment I heard the blip of the phone. I picked the phone up. I looked at the email and it said right there, Roddy arrived at terminal. I'm like, cool. And as soon as I rolled over, I dozed off. And granted, it was like 2:30 in the morning, and my natural clock woke me up at 6. So I got like 3.5 hours of sleep, and then I was up because again, emails coming through, talking with the dispatcher, sending up emails to send to the lab for updates, talking to inspectors throughout the day and stuff like that. And I'm just like, well, there's no point in sleeping because I gotta make sure I can watch this email. I can't miss a phone call, stuff like that. And it's weekends and holidays and stuff like that that make me not appreciate the job I have, the employment I have. But knowing the paychecks I get, I can understand it. Yeah, maybe the paycheck should be a little bit more, but I can appreciate what I'm making.
But
Um,
everyone could use a little bit better of a
everyone
paycheck.
always can, yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, no.
I don't know how long you've been working there now.
October would be 3 years. Yeah,
Gotcha. All right. So
it's
the biggest portion of inflation hit during those 3 years, and how many raises have you had in that time?
none.
Yeah,
They
well, there you
don't,
go.
they don't do
Not even
raises.
like a 5 or 3% or 5% cost of living adjustment.
Nah.
Hmm.
It's been a discussion, but it's not a company policy.
Oh, it should
Um,
be three
yeah,
percent cost of living should be a company policy. With a at the
but
hospital system Maddie works at, she gets it's like a guarantee. It, it is an all but guaranteed 3% cost of living adjustment every
yeah,
year with a potential 2% uh, on top of that. So an up to 5% basically. If you like did really well, or just 3% if you did terribly,
yeah.
or did well enough to not get fired. So to me, like any company that makes the kind of money that a big company makes,
Mhm.
that should be standard. In a church, for example, like I got a good raise last year because I went from 3/4 time to full time, which isn't really a raise. I just got more hours. Um, but
There's there's a lot I could say. Not about my company per se, but companies like mine. I could say about the money it makes.
mhm.
I just don't know the best way to go about it without sounding like I'm saying shitty things about a company I work for. Because surprise to a lot of people I work for, I'm not the kind of person to shit on a company I work for.
Sure.
I love that the company I work for gave me an opportunity. I love that they believed in the reputation I created for myself in this industry to give me an opportunity at the position I have to accept the terms that I needed in order to be hired on. I consider it all a blessing. I know there are some people that sit there and say that, my not just my not I'm saying my company, not my office, but just generically, oh, this job sucks. Go find something better. When new hires come in, like, hey, listen, be here for a little bit, but take these talents somewhere else and blah blah blah. I've heard it almost everywhere I've worked and everything. And if that's the way that you want to be when you work in a company, hey, live your life. That's just not
Hmm.
who I am. I'm not going to be somebody who's going to shit on a company that is paying my bills. I
Sure.
do I believe raises should happen? Absolutely. Even if it was a 1% raise annually, I'll even take it. It just something. Certain positions in our company, hourly,
Yeah.
they get raises based on what they learn, what they know, the knowledge and everything. You were gonna say
Sure.
something?
Yeah, no, I was thinking like, the thing is that the company isn't paying your bills. The company is buying your time.
Yeah.
And it is and as an employee, it is not shitting on the company to say, "Hey, I've been here for 3 years and between the experience that I have gained in those 3 years and the fact that inflation has gone up by 10, 11% a year for 3 years, my time is worth more than you were paying me 3 years ago." You know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying. I think
No,
I
it's
think
not, and the company is not. It doesn't mean you're working for a bad company if they're not
yeah,
thinking about that. They just might not be thinking about it. I fell through the cracks all the time, working at the battery store.
yeah,
I think I went from when I started to, I think I worked there for almost 5 or 6, probably 8 years, at minimum wage, and then it came to a point where um a buddy of mine was working for them and I needed him to be able to pay rent
yeah.
more than I needed my job.
Mhm.
And so I went to my boss and I said, "Hey, I need him to pay rent. And if you could pay me more, you'd be paying me more. So I'm going to quit and go get a job somewhere else because I can make more money somewhere else." And that made my boss go, "Oh, I can pay you more."
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
and that's the thing too, is like when you create that value in you where you could have that bargaining chip of like, hey, pay me more or leave, that's a great thing to have.
yeah. Oh, and it wasn't like an ultimatum thing.
Oh
I
no.
was threatening it.
You
It
were
was
you were
like,
prepared to leave. Yeah, no, you were
I was
prepared.
prepared to leave. I
Yeah,
was prepared, like my assumption is this is a good company and you guys do right by your employees.
yeah.
And so if you could have been paying me more, you would have been paying me more.
Mhm.
And they just didn't think about it. Their opinion was more of if we don't know that you need to be paid more, we're not going to pay you more.
Yeah. And again, like it's like how do you
So, and again, I mean, that's a small family business,
yeah.
which is different vibes than
Mhm.
an interstate, a massive interstate
Yeah.
company that is made. I don't know if are they nationwide,
Global.
global. Oh well, shit.
Global.
So a global. See, that to me, and this it doesn't mean the company is necessarily bad. I really want to be clear about that.
The hard part, like especially when it comes to the company I work for, and it's not just there's one, let's see, me, two, three, four. There's five companies, including myself. We do the same work in the same area.
Yeah.
The issues with the company that I work for is stuff like this is designed for uh oceans, waterlands, like
Mm.
waterways and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like freighters coming in, ships coming in full of products and stuff like that. That's how this whole business is lined. And then I once told somebody that the contracts that we have with customers, it seems to me, and I could be completely wrong. If anyone out there knows the company I work for, correct me if I'm wrong. From my perspective, all of our contracts with all of our customers are established as a nationwide contract,
Mhm.
very similar to car insurance.
Mm.
So we live in the Midwest.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Who's the smart black space guy?
Which one? Oh,
The
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
There, Neil. If I correct me if I'm wrong, you might know better than me. I'm gonna assume Illinois has never experienced a hurricane. Gonna assume that. Gonna
Oh.
assume, right? Um, for some reason, when a hurricane strikes the Carolinas, it strikes Florida, it strikes Houston, Texas. insurance gets spiked in those regions because of the insurance claims that are put in, which
Right.
cause insurance prices to go up. And that it's not just in those areas, it's nationwide. When forest fires broke out in California, everything went up, including the Midwest. Tornadoes ran through Tennessee, Kentucky, and Missouri. Our car insurance went up. It's
Yeah.
nationwide. And I asked him, I was like, why is it not territorial or by region? Why is it that when there's forest fires in California, it's not only just affecting the West Coast? Or when hurricanes are happening in the southeast corner, why is it not only affecting the southeast corner? And then that's what they said. Insurance is based globally, is based nationally. It's just based on the national average of what insurance is and blah, blah. I was like, that makes no sense because there's no reason I should be paying nearly twice as much for my car insurance now than I was 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
All because of natural disasters that are happening everywhere else. That makes no sense to me.
Right.
They said, obviously they give you, oh, we understand, blah, blah, blah. We are competitive with other places, all that stuff, the bullshit. But in my business and the company I work for, the contracts are the same thing. So when we sit here and we look at a contract for a customer and we do this work, we send out inspectors to go do the job. They do the job to come back. We run these tests, blah, blah, and everything. And we send the bill out. And then in their contract, it states that they get a 60% discount on the work performed.
Sheesh.
It makes sense when you look at a freighter or a ship where that job alone could be 30, 40 grand.
Mm-hmm.
60% off is 20, like
Yeah.
about 18 to $22,000.
Yeah.
Well, when you're taking 60% off of 4 grand, now you're making what, 1,800 bucks,
Right.
So it's the possibility for us to make more money comes down to taking on more work and making more money.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do that, we'd have to be more staffed. So as money increases, staff increases, and then all of a sudden, like everything keeps balancing itself out. It's like, hey, we're making more money next month. Well, that's because we brought in more work. Well, now we're going to hire people. So now we're going to hire people. It's like, well, how come we're not making as much money as we did the month before? It's like, oh, well, that's because we're paying more people.
Right.
When people leave, when people quit, we don't
Mm-hmm.
replace them right away. Well, hey, now we're making money again, but we still got to replace those people because the current people we have are being
Yeah.
overworked, they're exhausted, they're burnt out. We need to hire more people. Cool. So we'll hire more people. As soon as we hire more people, well, we're not making enough money again. It's
Yeah.
like, so where do you find
And
the balance? And
and
I have,
this is why, as a sidebar, mostly unrelated to this conversation, this is why I get so angry at the idea that people think capitalism is a good fucking system when you put profits for shareholders over
Mhm.
the well-being of the employees who actually do the goddamned work.
Mhm.
I don't care what system you're using. If you're using capitalism, if you're using communism, if you're using socialism, I don't give a shit. When you put profits over the well being of your employees, you will inevitably make less money because you're going to be churning and burning through your employees who are going to have to be constantly retrained because you're taking money out of their pockets to give it to people who are sitting on their asses doing fucking nothing for their living.
Mhm.
It makes me so fucking angry.
Yeah, it's
Sorry, I don't know why that made me so mad all of a sudden, but it's just like I'm just so sick of seeing people bust their asses all day, every day in and day out for years on end to make like 100 grand a year to never be able to retire.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Jeff Bezos is having a fucking $50 million wedding
Is that how
in
much
the
he's
middle
paying?
of Venice Beach in
Is that
California
is that
this
how much
week.
he's paying for his wedding?
That's how much he paid for his wedding.
Yeah, good for him. That's love, I guess.
No, beat
It,
him to death with a bowling pin. Don't do
it's
that. My lawyers say don't do that. My lawyers say that's a joke.
Dude, listen, you live in the same society as I do. It's an appointed public defender. Don't act like we got retainers and shit
Right.
going on
No, I know.
here,
I
man.
know.
Um, But no,
For
dude,
legal
and
purposes, that was a joke.
yeah,
But
yeah.
seriously, the idea that
Mhm,
there are people who are billionaires because their job is owning things.
mhm,
And I think that owning things should not be a job.
mhm.
It is not a livelihood. You're literally just a dragon sitting on a hoard of cash. And you know what all the great stories of the past were about? Is knights going and slaying you motherfuckers.
Yeah. I want to be a knight. I miss Renaissance fairs.
Yeah.
I need to go one. Yeah,
Sorry
it's
about
just
that. I don't
no, you're good. No, you're
I
good.
really don't want to kill people or see people killed. I want people to willingly, like Andrew Carnegie.
Mhm.
In the end, at the end of his life, he spent the last like 3 decades of his life just giving all his money away, establishing public libraries, establishing public lands for
Yeah.
people to enjoy, which are now being taken away. It's just,
Mhm.
I don't know.
No,
It's
no.
not just the
Listen,
unfairness of it. It's also just like it just disgusts me.
no,
It
and I
disgusts me that someone out there will say that you or I are lazy because we don't make X number of dollars a year.
yeah.
But they have no smoke for somebody whose job is literally just owning something, not
Mhm.
actually going to work, not actually ever doing anything except maybe going through the effort of signing their name. God forbid they get a wrist cramp.
There was a moment, it was a 2014, I think it was. There was one moment in the so I started working, I started collecting a taxable paycheck when I was 15 years old. So
Mm-hmm.
in the 21 years I have worked, there has been one moment that I actually felt appreciated by a boss.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people didn't like him, but I think I liked him because he was honest. People didn't like
Yeah.
that, but I was fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather be an asshole and honest than kind and not. You know, it's just like
Yeah.
I don't care. And he was never an asshole to me because I mean I respected the guy and I was also honest with him. But I think I talked about it on the show before, but there was this mass walkout of people who left the company I was at then to
Mm-hmm.
actually start up the company I'm currently working on now. You know, just it took me, 8 years to get here, but I eventually got
Mm-hmm.
here. But in 2014, when everyone made the walk on everything, and I and Carl and a few other people stayed and said, "Listen, yeah, we're not going, we're not doing anything." They didn't want me because of my attitude, which was fine, but yeah, they didn't know that at the time. But
Mm-hmm.
I got called into my vice president's office. He sat down with me and he said, "Hey, listen, I know there's a lot of changes. I know you could have been a part of those changes. I appreciate you decided to stay. We know for the next month it's going to be hell because we're shorthanded and everything."
Mm-hmm.
And they bumped my pay at that time. I was making 54 grand a year, and they bumped my pay to 71
That's awesome.
just because I stayed. And I was saying like, yes, so I have no problem being. And here's the thing too, is like, even if they didn't give me the raise, I would have stayed because I'm a loyal
Right.
employee. I'm a loyal
Yeah.
guy, and they recognize that, and that's what they appreciate about it. And the thing is, like, when I sit here and I look at like what's going on right now. And like I knew coming in that they didn't do annual raises. And I knew that, and that's why like coming in, like I kind of gave myself like the salary and stuff that
Yeah.
I
That
knew
you'd
I
be
could.
happy with for like 5, 10 years.
Yeah, that I knew I could get, and I knew I could get, and I knew that it's going to, like you said, kind of balance out for the next few years and stuff like that.
Sure.
I knew I couldn't ask for more because they either because I didn't. I don't think they would have negotiated, just be like, yeah, we're not gonna come that close.
Yeah.
But I gave him a number, and I knew, and maybe to supplement that, instead of starting out with the 10 vacation days they give, I asked for 15, and I got that. So
Nice.
I am coming into that business, yes, as a new employee to them, but also having 7 years of experience in this
Yeah.
industry. So it's like that's valued at something. It's valued at
Mm-hmm.
something to somebody. Um,
Absolutely.
so the hopes is right now, like I know there's a discussion about, bumps and, pay and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So hopefully that
Oh,
does go through. But the other side of me is kind of hoping, which I know we kind of talked last week about, some bills and laws that kind of passed and everything. And I haven't dove into a lot of things that are going on. I mean, obviously, I watch a lot more political news nowadays than I've had before, just because, a lot of stuff is interesting to me, especially, knowing that. Is it next year the government? Yeah, the government's election next year. The election for governors next year, 2026, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I
So
think so.
yeah, I think it's 2026. I think it's the 2 years opposite of the presidential. I think it was. I think that's what it was. I think it's 2026. I'm just curious now, especially what's going on in Illinois and seeing like what's going to happen between now and the election next April or March or wherever the hell it is. I think I mixed up two different elections.
Yeah, I
But
know.
I don't know. I think was the Chicago mayor election in the spring or something.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think maybe the governor is in the fall or something, but I do believe it is 2026. Um, I guess maybe I'm having, I don't know if it's ignorant hope or anything, but I'm hoping in some way, whether it be from a federal standpoint or a state standpoint, that the paychecks kind of grow from restrictive taxing. Again, you hear things, you expect things. Who knows what the fuck happens?
It's
I
not. The federal government is taxing everybody who makes less than $125,000 significantly more over the next 5 to 10 years, so that they can give a paycheck to the people who make more than $250,000 a year. Because fuck us, right?
Yeah, it's called the working class for a reason. It's just
Yeah.
work to death. It's one of the things where it's like it's. I guess I always live on the let's wait and see what happens kind of concept, especially like when bills get passed, whether again from a federal or state
Oh,
level, when things get
yeah.
signed off, just kind of like let's see what
Things are
happens.
already getting bad enough. We might not have a
Mhm.
government by the time
Right?
these tax cuts are supposed to kick in. So,
Right?
you know,
There's gonna be a huge mutiny. There's gonna be a lot of tea and a lot of fucking harbor soon.
yeah.
It's But it just like I said, man, it's just like whether it's a federal law being passed or a state law being passed, especially like the Illinois stuff that passed just over a week ago. It's like, do think I know things are going to affect right away. I know the one thing I mentioned obviously was the gas tax increase and how it's weird. It's like, man, they say a penny a gallon, but this went up 10 cents. But hey, it's also the holiday. Let's see how it goes. And I think I said like it started out at like 326. It went up to 334, I think. I think as of today it's 332. So I took it down a little bit again. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, maybe just they go for the holiday supply and
That's
demand
not
stuff
bad.
and that. No, it's not. It's not horrible.
Yeah, well, it's funny because when we were talking about it
Mhm.
last, we were the government was getting ready to actually I think was in the midst of bombing Iran, and Iran was blocking the waterway through which most of the world's oil gets to America.
I was hearing about that.
And
It's
so
like
I was expecting gas
yeah,
prices to skyrocket, and then the situation got resolved.
yeah. Well, I don't even think it was just America, but I think it was like 80% or 60% of the world's fuel that
Yeah, I think
runs
you're
through
right.
there. It
Yeah.
was
Oh,
I
yeah, but I'm only thinking about our gas prices.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, I don't care what
I
fucking
only I only have the bandwidth for my fellow citizens for the most part.
I was about to say, just so everyone's aware of where my mindset was from. I was about to say I don't give a fuck about the gas prices, and the country I thought of. Would you like to guess what it was?
Italy, France,
Pangea. Pangea.
Pangea.
That was the first country, even though it was the main continent of this world. That's what came to my like. I don't give a
I don't care
fuck
about
about
the
the gas
gas
prices,
prices on the supercontinent.
right? Like I don't give a
I
fuck what the gas prices of Pangea is. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I
love
don't know
that.
what it is. Um, but yeah,
I
no,
might
dude,
put that
it's
on a t-shirt. I actually really
oh
like
God. Can we T-Public that? Like, can we put the like who cares about your gas prices? Pangea, just
it. Yeah.
right there. Oh God. Oh yeah, I think we can do that. Yeah. Tune into a T-Public's website and like I give you about 3 weeks. I'll figure it out. Yeah, it's just like I've always been even though I'm a pessimist on a lot of things, I'm always like a hopeful optimist on like no matter how bad things get, it's got to get better. And again, it's like I can't
Oh, yeah.
like it's hard to sit there and say like whether it be from a federal standpoint or a state standpoint, something has to be better. I don't know what it's going to be, whether it be, the no tax on overtime and the hourly employees do better, or the no tax on tips and the servers do better. Whatever the state I got, I because I don't think we really talked about taxes state taxes other than like the taxing of goods. But we never
Right.
really talked about what affected tax wise as far as state taxes, right? I don't think we ever dove into that last week.
No, I don't think we did either.
Yeah, I think yeah. So I that's something I gotta look into, which is kind of weird too, because you would think like when like and I tried to look for the best article to kind of read off of. It's like it's wild to me that people are more focused on the taxing of goods than like the taxes that are being pulled from paychecks.
Yeah.
So it's
But we have a
so
flat tax in Illinois. It's just 4.5%.
yeah.
Um,
But
and
could that drop though? I mean, could they make it four? Could they make it an even four?
I mean,
I mean,
maybe. Well, I don't know. The thing is that we have a lot of, well, so the polite answer is we have a lot of goods and service, or a lot of services that we pay for through the government that
mhm.
actually, if we could have not a if we could have a graduated tax instead of a flat tax,
Yeah,
we could drop the tax rate for the lower income brackets and raise it for people who are making 500, 600, $1 million a year. And that would be beneficial to you and I. And we would be able to pay for a lot more. But because the tax is something that requires a constitutional amendment in the state of Illinois, um, it's very difficult to change that. And so what ends up happening is different cities and the state change the sales tax because that doesn't require a constitutional amendment. And the sales tax has been sky. I mean, I think we're at like 11% sales tax already. And so even though your bottom line that you come home in your paycheck, it is what it is.
yeah,
But the costs of goods and services are significantly higher because sales taxes are higher because we have to raise the money somewhere to pay for things.
yeah. I think we talked about it. I think it was sometime last year. I don't remember what episode it was. I don't remember what month it was or even what year, but I think we talked about how the concept of cost for things is in a way it's arbitrary.
Yeah,
It's
a
like
little
it's
bit.
like there's one day, you know, fucking Donnie could walk into, I don't know, Congress, wherever the hell he needs to walk into, and say, "Hey, can we all agree just to cut everything in half by cost?" And everyone just be like, "Sure." Like theoretically, somebody could sit there and say, "Hey, you see that $500,000 house? Yeah. Well, now you can buy it for 250 grand. You see those $8 eggs? Well, now you can buy them for $4. You see that gas that's 3.50 a gallon? Now it's a buck, now it's a buck 25. It's like, and why are you doing that? Yeah, because it's just an arbitrary number. It's like somebody just
Yep.
said, this is the value now. And then we're having to pay for it because people sit there
Oh,
and say, like, well,
well,
the cost, because the
would
cost of
someone
goods
think of the
went.
shareholders though?
Yeah, that's the thing, too. Is like, they don't want to make less money. But it's like, well, no, in order to make that dresser, it costs, well, that costs like $90 to make that dresser. So, of course we have to make $750 off of that dresser. It's like, well, why does it cost $90 to make that dresser? It's like, well, because the person who makes that dresser works 4 hours on making that dresser, and that guy works 20, he gets paid $20 an hour. He's like, okay, well, why does it take him 4 hours at $20 an hour? So okay, so he makes $80 per dresser. It's like, okay, so theoretically, you could pay him $40 an hour, or you can pay him $10 an hour, and that'd be cheaper. Yeah, but then he can't live. Like, well, if you cut his mortgage in half, his car payment in half, the cost of groceries in half, the cost of daycare in half, cost of gas in half, his car payment in half, if you just cut everything in half,
Mm-hmm.
what changes then?
The shareholders don't make as much
They
money
don't
as
make
they.
as much money. Yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing.
It's a wild concept. It's just like, and I guess honestly, theoretically, now that I'm thinking about it in my head, if everything was cut in half, it still wouldn't be like you still couldn't afford it.
No.
No, I guess you couldn't. Yeah. Wow. Okay, fine. Pay stays the same. Buying shit's in half. There we go.
Right?
New rule. That dude
Yeah.
still makes $20 an hour. He makes that $80. Fine. That costs $90. Sell that to me for 110 instead of 750. Sell it to me for 110. You still make $20. That dude made the money because he earned it, and you got to sit on your butt and make $20 off of that one dresser.
I love it.
But it's arbitrary. That's what that's the weird thing. Like when you really sit to think about it, it's like why does it cost so much to live in X, Well, because somebody decided that's what it's going to be. Why is my property tax $3,800 a year? Well, because somebody said your land is worth $3,800. Well, why is it? Because that one's worth 4 grand. Why is that one worth 4 grand? Well, it's because that one over there is is 2 grand. Why do you decide that? It's just what everyone else is doing.
Right.
Cut it in half. It's like what's the problem here?
I'm in. Deflate.
I should run for governor.
Do it.
I'll be what did Elon create? The American Party?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gee, yeah. What episode into are we for the new season? Is this 4?
That sounds about right.
Okay. Well,
Sorry, I'm designing this I don't care about the gas prices in Pangea shirt.
actually,
And I didn't
so,
like how something looked, so I made a face.
once you create it, send it to me. I'll get it up. I'll get it up on T Public. I'll do it. I'll do it by this weekend. Yeah, hell yeah. Um, okay. Well, we didn't get to the corrupt politicians of Illinois again, which is fine.
It's gonna be our
That's
Matt
okay.
Damon this season, huh?
It is. It could be our Matt Damon. Yeah, I still got it here though. I mean, it's still here. I still got Mike Madigan, Rod Blagojevich, George Ryan, Bill Cox, Roger Stanley. We got Jesse Jackson. I think we talked a little bit about them. William Beavers. Come on now, Jay Lasky. Yeah, we got them all here. So don't worry. We're gonna get to it. 100% we're gonna get to it. But in the meantime, Joe, what are you freaking thinking about?
Ooh, what am I freaking thinking about? Um, I am embarrassed to say that I am still mostly thinking about the stuff I'm doing with Freemasons.
No wrong with that though.
I'm pumped to be back involved in it. We're doing a Masonic funeral tomorrow up in Crystal Lake,
Oh,
and I kind of got drafted to be part of, not just to be part of it, but I get a speaking part. So I spent a good part of today memorizing that, and I'm really excited about it. To I'm really pumped to be involved in something again that isn't church, that isn't, I don't know. It's nice to have, what do I want to say? Podcasting is great. I love it. It's kind
yeah.
of a hobby.
Mhm.
Work is great. I love it, but it's work.
Yeah.
Being able to once or twice a month hang out with people who I would never otherwise hang out with.
Mhm.
Like if we quit podcasting, I would still love it if we could like get dinner once a week or something.
Well, we're family. I
We're
would hope.
family,
I would hope so. I mean,
right?
fucking,
That's what I'm saying. But like
yeah.
if the podcast were to end, we would still have a reason to hang out.
Oh yeah.
If the Freemasons went away, I would never see some of these people ever again. Right? We're just in totally different walks of life,
Mhm.
totally different areas of the honestly the state. One of our guys lives in like Galena and drives in
Wow, good for that.
once a
That's
month.
awesome.
Um, so yeah, it's just cool, and because of the principles of the gig, the idea that like we have to force ourselves to all get along, to not fight too hard about different things that are contentious, politics, religion, stuff like that. Um, it's on some level, it means that our relationships will always be superficial
Mhm.
because we're not going to get that deep on things that are deeply important.
Yeah.
But we'll be able to go deep on other things that are deeply important. Charitable work, feeding kids, making sure our brothers are housed or can eat, feed themselves, take care of their families. Being able to get involved with other charitable organizations through this connection.
Yeah.
It's just dope. I just really like it, and the like the itch it scratches that I can like memorize lectures that I've heard that I really loved when I heard them when I was brought in and have never heard them since except once or twice. And now I realized I can learn them. And so I'm learning them, and it's really cool. And and they know that I'm excited about learning them, so they're inviting me to participate in things and like hey, can you learn this thing for the stated meeting in August? You know, can you learn that thing for when we want to do this in September? It's nice. It's nice. It's nice to have people who rely on me not because of a paycheck or a profit or a desire for the success of the organization in a material sense,
Mhm.
but to be able to say like, hey, that's a solid guy. I can trust him to do this thing.
Yeah.
I have not had outside of family. I have not had that in so long, and it is such a cool drink of water for my dry and thirsty soul.
Yeah.
And that's my speech about it. If you're interested, uh, and male, and not an atheist, unfortunately, reach out to us. I believe we are allowed slightly to recruit, but also to be one, ask one. That's it.
Nice.
That's all I got to say about that. What about you? What are you freaking thinking about?
So originally I wanted to talk about my excitement for Thunderbolts.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
wait, did you
watched
not
it.
watch it?
I did
You
watch
did
it.
watch
No, I
it.
did watch it.
Yeah.
What so I wanted to kind of talk about my excitement for it, but there's a few things I wanted to actually talk about it. So I'm gonna save that for next week.
Fair
And
enough.
we're gonna talk about the movie little piece by piece because I kind of do want to talk about it as a whole. My freaking thinking though is about a band I found through Instagram that I'm kind of like hooked on. And it's like if anyone out there is into like Simple Plan, Good Charlotte, like that early 2000s emo rock punk, I
All
don't know what
right.
kind of genre it's called and everything.
I am a little.
But I believe the band is from Wisconsin. It's
Oh,
called Gold. It's called Gold Steps. Goldsteps. It has a female lead singer, which I am a huge fan of. It's one of the reasons I love Skillet, is because they have a female singer part of it. Nico Vega is one of my favorite artists. Um, I love when I mean, obviously over the years of uh from like the obviously the you look at the 80s, you got these bands that are all men and everything, but as you get into like the 2000s and stuff, you start seeing these rock bands that are starting to like now like include women into them. Like Alice Cooper has been touring with one of his guitarists as a female guitarist, and she is amazing. This band, the lead singer of this band, I mean the band in a whole, but the lead singer is fantastic. And one thing I love is that they take like they do covers obviously, but they have a lot of their originals and they're all fantastic. But she could take like a Taylor Swift song and show me why Taylor Swift songs suck. And it's because she didn't make it this genre. Because she makes Taylor Swift songs better.
nice.
Um I'm a huge fan of them. I was thinking to myself when I was driving into work and I was listening to them and thinking, like, man, do they have a song that maybe I could convince them to let us use as a theme song for this show? And nothing against the theme song we have now. I love the theme song we have now. I love MeTOMicA for making the theme song for us. I mean, obviously. Um, but it's just like, man, like if I could get her voice to make if she was to create a song that had the word freaking in it, or even if they were to like, I don't know, take like make a 45-second clip of a this freaking show theme song to where I got Gold Steps to play it and they were okay with us using it, that would probably be our theme song for like ever.
Nice.
Because it just brings back to nostalgia and like I mean it wasn't my top priority genre back in the day, but it was definitely up there. I loved it. So I'm a huge fan of theirs, and yeah, so I've been listening to them quite a bit. They got a new song coming out soon. They've been advertising it like crazy. The video about them being on the beach is kind of entertaining. So anyone out there who hasn't heard of Gold Steps, if you're a huge fan of again like Blink 182, Simple Plan, and all them back in the early 2000s, that was our high school era. This is them. This is definitely them, so I definitely recommend checking them out. So
Nice. I
uh
love that.
cool. Hopefully you listen to him, Joe. Like I say, it's pretty cool. Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Every week our listeners can catch Cartoon Joe here on this freaking show. But if an hour of Cartoon Joe just isn't enough for our listeners, where can they go?
If you need more Cartoon Joe, you can find me over at the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Blue Sky by searching Geekcast Live.
Excellent. Guys, if you're wondering where you can find us on social media, you can do so over at our new Discord. FreakNet Studios Discord is now live. It's now available for you to join up. If you need to find the link, go over to the This Freaking Show Facebook page. You can find the link to Discord right there. Go ahead and join up. Over there, you'll find a general chat where you can chat with Cartoon Joe and I if you want to leave some feedback, maybe some suggestions on maybe topics you want us to talk about, or maybe guests you want us to try to reach out to and have on. When we release our show on the FreakNet Studios YouTube channel, notifications will be sent to the FreakNet Studios Discord, so you'll know when our audio and video fall on YouTube. Of course, if you're going to listen to us on Spotify or Apple, continue to do so. Just make sure you hit the notification bell and give us a rating because it does help us. And to those of you who two-starred us on Spotify, what the hell is wrong with you? We're at least 3.5. At
Right?
least.
Come on.
Yeah, be better. Get on Spotify and give us 5 stars. At least 3.5, but preferably 5. I think we earned that. We're good people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
That's all I got, guys. As always, I'm Travis T.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freaking Show. I'm out.